Welcome back to a new video. This is my Wednesday, Thursday, and quick Friday session. Wednesday was a really quick session because I just wasn't as recovered as I wanted to be from the previous one, so I ended up I missed a 90 snatch, then came back and doubled it, and then did a 110 clean jerk double, did 70 and then 110 clean jerk double, and decided I was just going to repeat the session the next day. It kind of worked out nicely because I was looking at Wednesday and Thursday, and I knew I wanted to have what you'll see on the Thursday session, like do that session, but I wasn't sure whether Wednesday or Thursday would work, and I knew if I did it on this particular session, I wouldn't do it again the next day. We're at such a, at the same intensity. And once I kind of felt bad on the day, I was like, well, I made my decision quite easy for me. And I mean, there's obviously, many factors that impact that. On this particular day at school, I had more steps than I did on a different day. It's kind of an interesting thing that now that I have my smartwatch thing, which I use mostly to start and stop music, but obviously it can track steps as well. I think typically if I have a single class, I can usually stay between 8,000 and 9,000 steps, and I don't really try to do more or less steps. It's just kind of like what happens. With double classes, I've noticed that the trend is that I get more steps. So I think on this day I was all the way up to like 13,000, which is quite a high amount. And I think that, along with previous sessions, obviously adds up to where this session wasn't going to be the greatest one. And it's kind of funny, like I did miss that 90 snatch, and I was like, this is not going to be the day. And then once I clean 110, I'm like, this is definitely not the day. I'm glad I made that decision. And it's nice to have sessions like this because I'm really bad about doing a session like this a lot of the times. I'll sometimes just like keep pushing up, especially in the snatch, and then just have a really struggling session versus just like kind of cutting it down and just saying I'll just do this again tomorrow. And it went a lot better the next day. So I think I only had one kind of miss, and it was with 100, where I was honestly me just being kind of lazy with it. But then I was able to double 110 and then do a single at 120. So generally I was happy with how snatches went. Clean jerks, same boat. I did 2+2s, so 2 cleans, 2 jerks, and I was able to get up to 145. I actually missed it the first time, so I did both cleans and then missed the first jerk, which when you're doing complexes like that is really annoying. And for me, actually, I'm of two minds about it, because I'm like, wow, I wasted so much energy on those 2 cleans just to miss a jerk. But then it's like, I'm going to come back and it's like, I'm strong enough to do it for 2 easy cleans. Like, I have to be able to do at least 1 jerk. Because like the second one is like, I don't say it's a crapshoot, but like that's where the fatigue is at the most. But like I should be able to do 2 cleans and a jerk. Like I have plenty of strength for that. So when I came back for the second attempt, there's the kind of miss with it. When I came back for the second attempt, it was a lot better. I got more intense, but also with a lot of my jerks, you probably can see it in the videos too. When I dip, my right arm kind of, and I assume it's probably both elbows, I just more noticeable on the right side, dips down a little bit, which obviously is going to put the balance and push it forward a little bit. So really all I'm thinking about in the jerk is still being aggressive with the dip drive, but really just trying to just flex my elbows up. Not really necessarily even my elbows, but trying to almost the like upper back, trying to keep that flexed as I'm dipping down. So almost like I'm trying to arch myself against the natural weight wanting to move forward, because it's on your front rack and you're dipping down, and just trying to kind of arch my very upper back, like my scaps and stuff back with those. And I noticed that when I do a better job of that, the jerks just go better. So as long as I continue to do that, I also missed 110. All right, so I think that was the second rep there. That's why I didn't remember it as much. So second rep, I was close on it. I just didn't finish well enough. I came back and made it. So I actually had 2 misses on this day. But like the 100, like when I miss the first rep and I make the second one, like that's just me having bad technique and being lazy. Sometimes with like the second rep, it can be the same thing, but oftentimes it's just a fatigue. And ideally, obviously, you would rather miss the second rep than a first rep on a double, because you can blame the fatigue a lot more than on the first rep. First rep, you don't have an excuse. Second rep, you can at least, whether it's true or not, you can say it's the fatigue, or at least obviously it's going to play a factor. But the 145, that was better than I did from the blocks, where I did 143 for the 2+1, which the second jerk was really close, but was able to increase that a bit. I actually don't know what my best 2+2 is. I want to say 145 I've done before, but I very well might be the most. And that 120 there, because I'm doing like kind of like half cleans, I almost missed it. I was like really confused. I was like, maybe I'm cooked on this day, but I was like, no, I just have to actually just finish the clean. But the 120 went fine. I normally go 70, 110, then 140, but I knew that I wanted to go up from 145 from here, which, I mean, it's a big jump, so that could be one reason why the jerk was difficult, but it's one of those things. It's like in a normal training session like this, I'm not trying to hit a new 1 rep max, so it's kind of, I'm gonna be wasting a lot of energy if I'm gonna do like 135 for a 2+2 then 145, and I suppose I could do singles and stuff or whatever, but this is still a similar jump. If I go 110 to 140, it's a 30 kilogram jump. This is a 25 one, so I think if I were like, I'm not gonna go 70, 125 and then try to do 150 probably, because that'd just be too much intensity to jump from. So that's where I can make some adjustments, because that's where you see the jerk, just nothing was good about that. The second one, the jerks were a lot better. I was able to use my feet a lot more. It just felt a lot better just in general, and that could just be the big jump in weight that I took. So that's something to keep in mind. But it's something like in the previous week, where I think earlier this week I did the same thing with 143. So maybe this is an adjustment I need to make. Just do singles on the way up and then have a heavy 2+2 set. But I kind of like doing the complex on the way up and just having bigger jumps. But at the same time, if I keep having a miss like that first set, then maybe it's better just to come back, or just do like do reps in between. You see there, second jerk was good as well. Still kind of like when I'm coming down, I can kind of see it wanting to drift forward. So it's just something that I probably have to always battle with to make sure my jerks are being pushed back in a good way. But both those jerks felt really good. The second one felt like I really got it back behind me nice, which was good. Then these are just some quick pulls here with 190, and then 190 again with the clean pull. There wasn't any volume on this particular day. I did some volume earlier this week with the snatch pull. I just wanted to, I guess in a sense, if you count up all the reps between the snatch and the clean pulls or deadlifts or whatever, then it adds up a little bit. And this was 275. What's been interesting with like really heavy deadlifts like that is I've been feeling my left hamstring, not really in a bad way. I just kind of feel it, which is unique because I never feel my hamstrings unless I'm doing like an RDL, something like really hamstring dominant. So it's something I maybe pay attention to, I guess, if I don't want to. That would be one of the most troll things I could do, is like tear my hamstring with how strong my posterior chain is. I don't think I ever really would, just because if I felt something weird in my hamstring, I wouldn't try to, like, there's no, I guess it could always tear, there could always be something random that happens, but I feel like I'm pretty durable in a lot of ways, especially my posterior chain. Like, I've never had a hamstring injury. I don't know if I've had like quad tendonitis, but I've never had like a big muscle injury. I guess the shoulder is probably like, but I always consider that more of a joint. I've never like had like a muscle tear or something like that. I suppose in a sense, when you lift weights every day, you're always having little muscle tears, but I've never like torn a hamstring or a calf or bicep or anything like that. So I suppose I'm very lucky in that sense, but also that could just be a genetic thing. But also I think that's a positive effect of not using performance enhancers, is you're not moving beyond what your body can handle through a normal progression, so you're able to just kind of handle stuff. So I don't have those like major, I don't say joint injuries, because that's I've had little ones, the shoulder being the biggest one, but like I've never had like a torn bicep or chest or any like big muscle torn, which is good, because that would not be fun, especially because if I tore like a hamstring and I couldn't really walk, that obviously impacts lifting, which would be horrendous, but also like work, I have to walk around a lot, so that's another reason for me not to want to have a big injury, especially in the lower body, because then I'd be a lot more useless as I'm teaching, and I'd still be able to do stuff, but yeah, it would certainly be impactful in a negative way, because walking around is certainly an important part of being a phys ed teacher. That's for sure. It certainly makes teaching a lot more effective and a lot easier. But with that being said, that's it for this one. If you made it to this point, I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you all the next one. Peace.